Hi, my name is Hiram Ulysses Grant, but you can call me Ulysses Simpson Grant. I got the name when my parents put a list of names in a hat and pulled one out. My dad liked the name Hiram because it was the name of a famous warrior. I was born in Point Pleasant, Ohio on April 27, 1822. Growing up, I lived in Georgetown, Ohio. My parents are Hannah Simpson Grant and Jesse R. Grant. My father, Jesse, was a tanner and a farmer. When I was a year old, my family moved from Point Pleasant, Ohio to Georgetown, Ohio. I live with a brother and 3 sisters. As a child, I developed an early love for horses. At almost 2 years old, my father took me to a circus where I begged to ride a horse. I rode the horse around the arena with a huge smile. At age 5, I learned to ride a horse standing up. I rode the My love for horses eventually led to getting a job of taming horses for my neighbors. During the winter months, I went to school in a one-room schoolhouse. I was very good at math, but the school had no advanced math books. In 1839, I attended Army Academy in West Point, New York, at 17. This school is famous for training Army officers and has a great math department. When I arrived at West Point, there was a list of names, but no Hiram Ulysses Grant, only Ulysses S. Grant. As a result, I was forced to go by the name of Ulysses S. Grant. Ulysses. The Army would not change the paperwork. I was bullied a lot as a child, and people called me names like Ulysses S. Grant. When people looked at my Useless S. Grant. When people looked at my initials, they laughed and said, "What does U.S. Grant stand for? United States Grant?" I graduated from West Point in 1843 at 21, becoming an officer for the United States Infantry. I was stationed in St. Louis, Missouri, where I met and married Julia Dent in 1848. And we eventually have 4 children: Frederick, Ulysses Jr., Ellen, and Jesse. I was then moved to Louisiana to be a quartermaster during the Mexican-American War. I observed and learned military tactics and leadership skills that would prove valuable during the Civil War and my time as president. I was named a captain in 1853, but I eventually resigned and quit the Army due to a substance abuse. In 1860, South Carolina seceded from the Union. In 1861, Confederate troops attacked Fort Sumter, which led to the start of the Civil War. I believed slavery was wrong, so I rejoined the military. In 1864, President Lincoln appointed me as Lieutenant General in the Civil War. The only other soldier to earn that title in history was George Washington. Under my leadership, the Union Army defeated the Confederate Army led by General Robert E. Lee, who surrendered in 1865, officially ending the war. After the war, I was asked to run for president at age 46. I was elected 18th President of the United States. In 1868, at the time, I was the youngest president in history. I was re-elected as president in 1872. As president, I helped support civil rights for African Americans and Black families. I also helped to ratify the 15th Amendment, which created the National Weather Service and America's first national park at Yellowstone. Unfortunately, during my presidency, I had members of my administration who were dishonest and accepted bribes. I started to write and publish my memoirs by Mark Twain to earn money and support my family. The set ended up selling 300,000 copies. I'm still remembered today because I was an American war hero and the 18th President of the United States. Sadly, I died at the age of 63 on July 23, 1885 of throat cancer because my heavy addiction to smoking cigars and drinking. I died in a cabin in Adirondack. Thank you for listening to my speech.